Today's video, we are going to see Riley Gaines tell Joe Rogan something that's going to make him go quiet. An aspect of Lia Thomas, an aspect of an untold detail, like some details about Lia Thomas that he's never heard before, is going to make him go quiet. So today's video is from Rubin Report, the Rubin Report, and it's titled Riley Gaines Makes Joe Rogan Go Quiet with Never Before Told Detail of Lia Thomas. We all know Lia Thomas, a very good swimmer. I think she's transgender female, and yeah, we're going to be watching Riley Gaines' part of the story. Okay, before we dive into the video, I'm Oge. Welcome to the channel. If it's your first time, it's so good to have you here. Do well to like, share, subscribe, turn on post notification bell. Let's see this video together.
Hey guys, I'm away in Israel this week, but little known podcaster Joe Rogan, well, I think this guy's gonna make it.
At this national championships, right?
Okay.
This national championships where we had Lia Thomas, who is a male, a man, self-identifying as a woman. We were told we fully had to treat this person as a woman, right? This same national championships, we had another athlete who was transitioning. But this athlete is a female who was then self-identifying as a man from Yale. Izzy now goes by the name of Isaac. And we were told we fully had to treat this person as a man. Optics purposes here, to give you perspective of what this looked like from our eyes. Okay, finals of the 100 freestyle. Top 8 women in the entire nation.
Air quotes women.
Air quotes women. Yeah, for those that don't have video, air quotes women. Top 8 women in the entire country. And you've got a 6'4" man in a women's swimsuit with a bulge next to a woman wearing only a Speedo with nothing covering her top. Your reaction was my reaction, because I'm sitting there watching this. I'm thinking to myself, it's me. I'm the crazy one. It must be. This is the freaking Twilight Zone. Really what had thrusted me over the edge into no longer being willing to lie, ultimately, is he and I raced in the 200 freestyle. This is the day after he swam the 500 freestyle and won a national title, beat out Olympians, beating out American record holders, right? Keep in mind, these aren't scrubs. They're the most impressive and accomplished female swimmers this world has ever seen. And again, he beat them all by body lengths. 1 second might not sound like a lot of time, but in the sport of swimming, again, measured down to the 100th of a second, 1 second is significant. He beat the entire nation of women by almost 2 full seconds. Even the time he went last year would have beat every girl in the country this past season by nearly 2 full seconds, making him the first man to win a Division I NCAA women's title, trailblazer. But the second day of competition, the day after this, he and I race in the 200 freestyle. So, look, we get on the blocks, dive off, swim 8 laps of freestyle, touch the wall at the end. I look up at the scoreboard, and almost impossibly enough, Joe, we had gone the exact same time.
Wow.
Meaning, of course, we had tied, which is it's incredibly embarrassing for a 6'4" man to not even be able to beat like a 5'5" female. But again, going a minute and 40-ish seconds and not even 1/100th separated us. You can't tell me that's not divine intervention. But tied, we get out of the water, we go, you can see here, we both went 143.40. Not one of us going 143.39 or 143.41 tying. Get out of the water, go behind the awards podium. The NCAA official looks at both Thomas and myself. Thomas, who is towering over me, right, 6'4", and this official looks at both of us and says, "Great job, you two. But you tied, and we only have 1 trophy, so we're gonna give the trophy to Lia. Sorry, Riley, you don't get one."
Why?
My
Jesus Christ.
heart rate was still high, having just competed. My adrenaline was still pumping. And so the first thing that I thought ended up being the first thing that I said, And the first thought that I had was just what you had just said, right? Like, isn't this everything that Title IX was passed to prevent from happening? What do you mean you're going to give the trophy to the man in the women's 200 freestyle?
Why?
I asked the question that no one dared ask all season. And I said, why? Which, of course, he didn't have an answer as to why. They didn't give him a script of what to say when someone asks you the dreaded question of why. And so his first excuse he came up with, he's stumbling on his words, and he's, well, we're actually just doing this in chronological order, he said. And so I said, okay, do you mean alphabetical? Because
order.
G comes before T. Otherwise, I literally have no idea what you're being chronological about. Right? We tied. So again, what's your rationale here? And finally, he realized that he didn't have a justification. He didn't have an answer for this. And so, and I actually appreciate his honesty, this is when his face changed. He looked sad. His voice changed. I could tell he didn't even believe what he was about to say. But this official looked at me and said, Riley, I am so sorry, but we have been advised as an organization that when photos are being taken, it's crucial that the trophy's in Leah's hands. Again, you can pose with this one, but you have to give yours back. Leah takes the trophy home. You go home empty-handed, end of story. We can eventually mail you one,
Oh my God.
is what they said. So it was like that moment when I felt guilty at that point. I felt guilty for participating in the farce. I felt guilty for even getting in the water at this point.
I mean, it is actually very sad. Actually very, very sad. And it is so unfair. I know I've heard this story like twice. I think there was a time she had an interview with Tulsi Gabbard. I can't remember. I think Tulsi or Ayanla Vanzat. I can't remember who in particular. But I think I've done a reaction to it where she actually gave her own side of the story about this same event that happened. I mean, it is so sad. How can a man in a woman's... First of all, it is not a fair game. Because... she said she is 5'5" or 5'9". I think she said she's 5'5" or 5'9" in height, and Leah Thomas is 6'4". 6'4", that is very tall, with muscles. Have you guys seen Leah Thomas? I've not seen her in person, but I've seen videos and pictures. He is tall. He is so tall. First of all, him competing with Riley Gaines and having a tie, I mean, so embarrassing. He's supposed to actually beat her. Riley Gaines is a good swimmer. For her to actually be tying with Leah Thomas. I mean, there was a report that was saying that okay, let me not say that, so it won't sound very harshly or bad about Leah Thomas. But anyway, I feel like it's embarrassing for Leah Thomas to actually be tied with Riley Gaines. He's a man. He has the genetics and the genes of a man. Even though, I mean, he's transgender, but of course, he's still a man, okay? And he's tying with her. First of all, that's so embarrassing. Second of all, it is an unfair game. That's why a lot of people are so against men in women's sports. How can a transgender woman be in women's sports? It is not even fair. She has more advantage over the other. That's why it's going to make... Now, here, did you guys hear what Riley Gaines was saying? She's saying that she feels guilty for even participating in that game in the first place. Now, it's going to disturb. Now, it's going to make other people, other female swimmers, not to be interested in participating because it's not a fair game. And then she tied with Leah Thomas, and they're saying, oh, that they have to give it to her, to Leah Thomas. How does that even work? How does that even work? How is that even ideal? But anyway, I mean, he said, I mean, it's not, I mean, it's what the authority says, so it's not just a one-person thing. It's like a collaborative decision. So yeah, I mean, it is so sad, and it is, I mean, it's unheard of. I don't know what you guys think, so you guys should please let us know what you think in the comment section. I don't think transgender women should be in women's sports. They should actually make their own games. yeah, let them compete against themselves. I think it is fair. But putting a transgender woman in a female sport, it is not a fair game anymore. I mean, you are giving, they have more advantage over the female. They will obviously win. And when it's now a tie, you are giving it to a transgender woman. Does it even make sense? No. So, but you guys should please drop your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. What are your opinions, additions you want to say about this video? Let's know in the comment section. Do well to like this video if you enjoyed it, share with your friends, subscribe if you haven't, and turn on the post notification bell. I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.